friends, and welcome to my channel. Today I will be sharing with you some Instagram inspired high-end spring Easter dupes. These are, again, look for less type of DIYs, and I hope you enjoy them. Starting this DIY with I think my favorite project of the three, and it will be this bunny print. I had found this bunny on Canva, and I had actually switched it to black and white, and I also cut off a part of his body, so just the head is in the frame. And then I picked up this canvas over at Dollarama. You can get them at Dollar Tree, I'm pretty sure, as well. I love using these because they have a really nice frame. It's not the best quality frame, but I love using it, and I have made so many different signs with it, and it seems to hold up throughout the seasons. I will be removing the canvas because I do want to expose the little wood frame. I'm just marking it off where I'm going to cut the canvas. I'm just using regular scissors, and as you can see, when I flipped the wood part, it actually has a really nice looking frame with a little bit of definition in it. So what you want to do is you want to cut the canvas around the marked section, so that way it fits, the frame fits right on top of it. You are going to flip it to where you're going to be adding the print on, so that way you're adding it on to the correct size. And I'm quite impressed that I actually cut it pretty close. Usually there's a flap overlapping, and this time it looked perfect. So I'm just going to mark off where it's kind of the frame's going, just so I know how to glue the print onto it, so that way I'm not covering any parts of the print with the frame. For attaching the print, you can use school glue. You can use I don't think I would use hot glue, but I ended up using Mod Podge because I wanted to add some on top of it as well. But you can totally just use school glue if you wanted to. And I'm cutting this out because when I printed it, my printer left some sort of an ink mark on top of right above his head. So I just want to remove that. You could totally leave the whole piece as is and just glue that on, because you are gluing it just right on white, so it wouldn't really matter. But I cut it out. I didn't cut it like perfectly right up against the line, but I did cut it up, leaving a little bit of a white border around it, just so I wouldn't mess up. So I've never have luck with these Dollar Tree foam brushes. The bigger ones are okay, but these little ones, they're not a very good quality. There's too much empty space on top, so it has no structure to it. So whenever I'm applying paint or even glue, it just doesn't work. So I'm just switching out the brush and then applying a generous amount. You want to cover all the areas, so that way it goes on pretty nicely. I would also like to mention that today's video is part of a collaboration that's hosted by C from Siege DIY. It is a very large collaboration called Easter Around the World, and I encourage you to check out the playlist, which will be linked down below, as well as C's channel. I will have her channel linked down below to get tons and tons of spring and Easter DIY inspirations. Once I had it on a canvas, I added some Mod Podge over top of it as well. You should probably wait till this dries. I don't have such patience, and I just went ahead and did it right away. And then I proceeded on gluing the frame, and I am using hot glue to do that. you want to be careful that you put it right exactly where you want it to go. This tends to be sometimes an issue for me, and I mess up in this part as well, but I did take my time and made sure I put it exactly where I wanted it to go. And there you have it. I think this turned out so cute. I absolutely love the way he looks. You can find these prints where I live at Bouclair, and they are around $20-$30. Mine was about $2, and I love him. The next project is a thrifted vase. So this is not necessarily an Easter project or spring project, but I will be using this vase to decorate my home with some tulips, and I thought it was fitting because of the spring decor that I'm going to be using it in. So I'm going to give this vase a coat of this charcoal gray paint. It's a chalk paint. I love painting with chalk paint because it usually you only need one coat. I did need to mix mine up a little bit because it was some of it settled, so it was very watery. So once I gave it a good stir, I was able to paint this with one coat. I picked up this vase for, I think it was $3 at Value Village a while back, and I particularly liked it because it had the grooves on it. And what I wanted to do with this vase, when I was looking for a vase, I wanted it to have grooves because of what I was planning on doing with it. So once you have fully covered your piece, like I said, it took me one generous coat to get that accomplished. I will be adding some dirt. I have some dirt that I put in the house, I think at fall. So now it has had a chance to dry pretty good. When I was using it for one of my fall projects, it was quite wet. But this time it was dry, and I'm going to, while it's wet, cover the whole piece, and then I'm going to let it completely dry before I move on to the next step. This type of DIY, I've seen so many of them over on Instagram, I think more so than on YouTube, just myself. And the vase is a high-end dupe for sure, because these type of vases at Pottery Barn or even I said Anthropology Home or Our House. I don't know if Our House has them, but anyways, they are quite expensive, in hundreds of dollars, and mine was $3, and I had all the supplies. So once it had completely dried, I'm just taking a brand new clean brush, and I am just brushing the vase completely, trying to get all that loose dirt off. I will also be taking a rag and just rubbing it off as well in some spots, just so it's rubbed off more in some spots, less in the other, just to give it a little bit of depth and definition, to give that rustic look. I love these type of makeovers. Like I said, I've made a couple of them, not necessarily with even with dirt, but I have made them with sand. I have made them with flour and cornstarch and all sorts of stuff, and I just think it just gives all the pieces that you're making over more of a rustic look. I especially love doing these type of projects with Christmas ornaments. I think that's one of my favorite things to do. So here it is, all done, and I absolutely love it. You could go one more step and spray it with the sealer. I might do it later. And then here it is with tulips, and I think it looks really nice. I'm going to be using it on my coffee table in my family room because I had a taller glass there with some flowers, and my husband continuously complained that he couldn't see the TV. So the shorter vase will have to be here from now on. And the last project, I felt like I was doing arts and crafts project because I was assembling a bunny with all these random supplies. So I have a large Christmas ornament, and then I have a large egg that I actually had to go get from a friend of mine because the one egg that I had was too small that I originally intended to use. And then I have some aluminum foil. I will be using some sand, and I will be using some paint and hot glue. So I'm going to start off with hot gluing the ornament and egg together first, and then I'm going to add some smaller eggs as the feet, and then I'm going to work on the ears. So as you see, I am using the smaller part of the more rounder part of the egg for the feet. So once everything was assembled, I mixed up my paint. I'm just using white acrylic paint, and I am adding sand to it. I did this type of a technique in fall with pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns for my front porch, and I absolutely loved it. And when I saw a lady do this type of thing on Instagram, I was completely inspired by it and ended up wanting to recreate the project. Now, if I had to do this one again, I would probably use a styrofoam egg as well as a styrofoam ball, just because I think this type of paint would have been a little bit easier to apply, and it wouldn't dry so dry on the styrofoam. It did crack a little bit on me, even after the second coat still. So I don't mind the look. I think it just gives it so much character. But if you want more of a non-cracked look, then I would definitely go with styrofoam, because I think styrofoam would absorb some of the paint as well, and it wouldn't crack as easily as it did here. But I still love him. I think he looks really good. I think it's gonna be great as part of my home decor that I have right now. And speaking of home decor, if you guys haven't been checking out my home decorating that's been going on my home channel, I have it linked down in the description box. Please go ahead and check it out. I have tons of decorating inspiration, and the best part of it, most of the decor that I use is budget friendly, as well as a lot of the DIYs that I create on this channel. I do feature them on that one in my decorating. So I would love it if you check that out as well. And speaking of checking things out, don't forget to check out the playlist, which will be linked down below, to get tons and tons of Easter and spring DIY ideas. The collaboration is quite big. There are tons of very talented ladies in it. And like I said, the playlist will be linked down below, so make sure you check it out. I do love the way this guy is shaping up, and I love the way he turned out. He especially looks good sitting on my coffee table. I think he looks so rustic and different. Let me know if you guys are going to be trying any of these DIYs out. Don't forget to check out the playlist, and thank you so much for joining me on another DIY idea video. So until next time, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you all so much for watching.